Hi, Purple Ella here. Today I'm going to talk about demand avoidance. Demand avoidance can be an autistic trait, and there is also a type of autism called PDA or pathological demand avoidance, which describes a profile for whom the main characteristic is to avoid demands and expectations to an extreme extent. Pathological demand avoidance was first identified by British psychologist Elizabeth Newson. PDA and how it fits within the autism spectrum is a widely debated and sometimes controversial topic. A person with a PDA profile of autism shares common autistic traits such as difficulties with social communication and interaction, restrictive and repetitive patterns of behaviour, activities or interests, and sensory processing difficulties. Plus, a person with PDA also has a need for control which is anxiety related, leading to resisting and avoiding everyday demands, including those that they might want or need to do. Other features which differ in a PDA profile are appearing more competent socially but lacking understanding, being comfortable in role play and pretense, and displaying obsessive behaviour which is sometimes focused on other people. People with a PDA profile need a different approach and strategies to those generally used with autistic people. Here in the UK, it can be really hard to receive a PDA diagnosis. In fact, lots of counties here don't even recognise PDA. But there is a place in the Midlands called the Elizabeth Newson Centre which can offer assessments and support. I'll link to that in the description box. I'll also link to some other great PDA advocates. I don't have a PDA profile, but I do experience demand avoidance in a milder way in my day-to-day life. For example, if I put something in my diary, as soon as it's in black and white and it's a demand, I feel anxiety. I feel anxiety as I put it in my diary. I feel anxiety in the lead up. I feel anxiety on the morning when I wake up and that thing is in my diary. Putting something in black and white in my diary makes me experience demand avoidance, even if it's something I wanted to do. Ditto, putting a task on my to-do list. As soon as the task is on my to-do list, it's a demand and it causes anxiety. Struggling to commit to or sign up for things because then there'll be another demand that I have to deal with. Many demands make me anxious, but I manage to overcome that and get things done. Here's how. I keep a limit on anxiety increasing demands each day. Ideally, I would only ever have one demand each day which makes me anxious. That way, everything else is just easy to do and I can focus on using strategies to get through the demand that's making me anxious. I break down those demands into smaller steps so that getting started feels more manageable. For example, I find filming makes me really anxious. I enjoy the editing, the planning, everything else around it, but the filming itself feels like an anxiety-provoking demand. So I don't think about filming. I think about walking up to my studio, setting up my camera, sorting out my lighting. I think about the small steps that lead up to the process of me filming so that I can get myself started, and once I'm started, I can usually get the job done. I stay on top of demands by using a system to stay organised. That way the demand monster doesn't grow. The demand monster grows when the deadline gets nearer, especially if more jobs are added on top. This one is a work in progress. I'm constantly trying new systems to find the perfect way to organise myself so that demand monsters aren't looming over me. If you'd like to hear more about the systems that I use to stay organised, leave me a comment in the comment box and I'll get onto that for you. I plan rewards for getting the job done. So when the demand is looming over me, I tell myself that when I finish this task, I'll have a reward. That might be a cup of bubble tea, half an hour watching my favourite show, some drawing time, whatever your reward system looks like, use that to motivate yourself to get through that demand. I build in planned spontaneity. So if putting something in my diary makes me anxious, I will, rather than putting it in my diary, I'll make a note that I might do this thing on this particular day, no commitment, and then on that day, I will either do it or not do it, depending on how I feel. This can even work with casual arrangements with friends. I explain how anxiety-provoking putting stuff in the diary makes me, and I tell them that I will let them know on the day, and usually people are really understanding once they understand the reasons behind this approach. Do you experience demand avoidance because of anxiety? Leave me a comment and let me know. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. If you want to take an extra step towards supporting me as a creator, then please consider joining my members only club here on YouTube, The Purple People. Members of The Purple People receive a sticker, a monthly exclusive video, community posts, and more. So if you would like to support the work I'm trying to do here, just click the join button to find out more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.